claiming the Pacific. Moments in history. Balboa fled from his home in San Domingo, pursued by debt, and seized the rule of a struggling colony in Darien. From there, he journeyed overland to prove the truth of Indian reports to a vast ocean to the west. Coming to a ridge, he made his companions remain behind, and reaching the summit first, discovered the mighty Pacific. When he had made the long journey to the shore, he plunged into the water, claiming on September 29th, 1513, all the oceans in the name of the King of Spain.
Introducing Bile Duckley in Liver Dance. Ultimate celebration of digestive power. Recorded live in the abdominal.
I've gone from Boy Scout to D-Malay to Solo Wiccan to OTO Initiate to Pagan Priest to Atheist. All in a search for more in life. In the history of natural world to the supernatural, I found many weird things. But just because I don't know what it is doesn't make it supernatural. While the true heart of science is to always question even yourself. In the end, I have become an objective atheist. I am an atheist, but I want there to be more. Welcome to Damn Weird. And in this, I'm going to attempt to organize my collective thoughts on various unusual events and things and people that have occurred and things I've studied. Just a way to organize them here onto YouTube for me. Now we're going to start with some of the easier things, simply because we need kind of a foundation for our studies, for something to look at. These are things that maybe shouldn't exist, but do. The thylacine, aka the Tasmanian tiger, or, as some call it, the marsupial wolf. It was a relatively shy nocturnal creature, with the appearance of a medium to large-sized dog, except for a stiff tail and abdominal pouch, which was reminiscent of a kangaroo, and a series of dark transverse stripes that radiated from the top of its back, making it look like a tiger. The thylacine was an apex predator, like the tigers and wolves of the northern hemisphere, from which it obtained two of its common names. As a marsupial, it was closely related to the dog, but in filling the same work in nature, they evolved from two different points to get to the same form. The thylacine has been described as a formidable predator because of its ability to survive and hunt prey in extremely sparsely populated areas. Although the gray wolf is widely seen as the thylacine's counterpart, a recent study proposes that thylacine was more of an ambush predator as opposed to a pursuit predator. The extinction is attributed to competition from indigenous humans and dingoes. However, doubt exists over the impact of the dingo, since the two species would not have been in direct competition with one another, as the dingo hunts primarily during the day, whereas it is thought that the thylacine hunted mostly at night. A 2011 study of the University of South Wales, using computer modeling, indicated that the thylacine had a feeble jaw. Animals usually take prey close to their own body size, but an adult thylacine of around 66 pounds was found to be incapable of handling prey much larger than 11 pounds. This put them into direct competition with the Tasmanian devil and the tiger quoll, with others waiting to fill their spot on the food chain. This made the thylacine susceptible to a small disturbance in any ecosystem. The thylacine was also much less versatile in diet than the omnivorous dingo. Their environments clearly overlapped. While the adoption of the dingo as a hunting companion by the indigenous people put the thylacine's existence under increased pressure. The results show that the humans were obviously one of the major factors in the extinction of many species in Australia. But in reality, it was not until the humans had an adverse effect on the environment and brought disease to Australia that their arrival drove the thylacines to extinction. They also had a limited genetic diversity due to their complete geographical isolation from mainland Australia. Another study brings disease into the debate as a major factor in the thylacine's extinction, with records from the Hobart Zoo. This suggests that there were epidemiological influences in the extinction of thylacine, would have been at best prevented, at worst postponed. The chance of saving the species through changing public opinion and a re-establishment of captive breeding could have been possible, but the marsupial carnivore disease, with its dramatic effects on individual thylacine longevity and juvenile mortality, came far too soon and spread far too quickly. The so-called Tasmanian tiger was last seen in 1936, here pictured from the Tasmanian Archives and Heritage Office. A sighting was reported near Mundrobilla in West Australia in the year 2000. The reporter anonymously said that they had just seen a documentary about the species and thought the animal he had seen was an exact copy of it. They wrote to the Thylacine Research Unit. While in 2006, 4 separate sightings of the tigers were reported near Portland, southern Australia, in just 3 months. One of the people claiming to spot the animal, Anthony Ursello, told Crypto World he'd been walking home when he saw it on the side of the road just sitting there in the intersection. He kept staring into the intersection, looking at him. Ursello said he wanted to take a photograph of the animal, but when he got within 14 yards of it, he ran off into the bushes. He added that he didn't know what it looked like, though. It was a bit of a dog, but it really didn't look like one. In 2007, a mother and 2 children were driving to the beach when a 4-legged animal ran out ahead of them in Anglesia, Victoria. They immediately started to eliminate animals allowed, thinking it could not be a dog, a cat, or a deer. In 2015, a Tasmanian tiger hunter, Michael Moss, claimed to have dashboard camera footage of the elusive carnivore. Just 1 month later, another sighting was reported in southeast Tasmania. 2 separate witnesses claimed to spot a tiger when they were driving home. On January 4th of this year, 2016, a caravan park owner from Victoria claimed to spot one of the extinct animals roaming about one of his sites. The caravan park owner, Tony Holgate, told 7 News, however, that Marissa Pero, Melbourne Zoo's reproductive biologist, thinks probably just saw a sick fox. If foxes have a disease called mange, they can get a stripe appearance and a thin tail. It can be mistaken for the Tasmanian tiger. It should be mentioned, the west side of Tasmania is still sparsely populated, and new appearances in that area could simply be the fact that people are moving into the area that hereditarily was theirs. But more of the question that really puts this on the weird list for me, although the creature qualifies on its own. The question is not if we can clone it, but when. And if we do, we have questions to look at, such as, do we return them to nature? How will other animals respond? How will they breed? There's a lot of just things. Common sense kind of leans to it should all be fine. But we don't know. They also never know if we raise them in captivity. Are we going to just create these things? If we can't let them out into nature, are we going to create these things like pets of science in some kind of zoo reflecting what was their lives at what time? Then why are we doing it? That to me just is kind of wrong. What if the impossible happens and the disease that they were getting seems to return as nature finds a way? How will it react to other viruses it runs into that exist now? Geneticists already talk to raise extinct passenger pigeons from the dead, while a woolly mammoth's perfectly preserved trunk edges scientists closer to cloning an extinct species. These are all just questions we need to look at. And the whole thing is just damn weird. Thank you for being here.
fountain of youth. Moments in history. To the Spaniards in the West Indies, the natives brought tales of a great land in which there was a spring having the power to confer perpetual youth. In 1513, Ponce de Leon set out to find these magic waters and discovered the mainland near St. Augustine. He named the country Florida, sailed down the east coast of the peninsula, partway up the west, and returned through the previously unknown Bahama Channel, a protected strip of water which was later to be the haunt of pirates. I'm not sure I like this. I've heard more of our new patient from the other patients than from my doctors. Time to see why. Well, hello there. My name is Dardanos. Dr. Dardanos. You're at the Micklin Institute. Who are you? Well, for the sake of conversation, how about I call you Mark? How does that sound?
No.
Well, what should I call you? So we can call any relatives or loved ones that may need to know you are here and all right. Any previous conditions or medical records could be vital for your recovery and freedom.
I have no living relatives. They are all dead. Long dead.
Did you do it?
Why would I tell you anything?
For the sake of the conversation, I'll call you Mark, unless you would prefer John Doe 6453. You seem to have a lot of repressed anger.
Only repressing is this jacket and these chains. Oh, wait, there is something you could do for me. You could remove these jackets and chains.
You should be more careful in who you threaten. I am probably the only one that can help you, that knows why you are here, or that you are here at all.
Let me light a hand.